Under the scorching sun, a group of young men are hard at work in Ayore village, neighboring the Pian-Upe Wildlife Reserve in Kween district. Their mission is to plant trees to save the environment. Just a month ago, this community in Girik sub-county was at the center of a worrying trend, the widespread poaching of migratory birds, specifically yellow-billed storks, making their long journey back to the northern hemisphere. Residents, driven by desperation after years of failed harvests, were using rats drenched in paraquat dichloride, a highly toxic pesticide and potent gin, to trap the yellow-billed storks. The vice, which began 2 years ago, has seen the poaching of over 3,000 birds. The birds, which weigh between 3 to 8 kilograms, are sold for 8 to 15,000 shillings. In March, Uganda committed to the conservation of these species by the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding on the Conservation of Migratory Birds of Prey in Africa. In an earlier interview, Uganda Wildlife Authority, responsible for managing Uganda's vast protected areas, had earlier acknowledged receiving information about the bird poisoning.
We have domestic animals that can be eaten. Let us leave wildlife flourish.
Joel Cherop, a farmer and conservationist, attributed this vice to poverty and the numerous unsuccessful crop seasons in this community.
Since 2021, there's not been successful crop production in this community. Every time people have tried to put a hand, do some bit of farming, they've always been hit by drought. It brought out a very powerful story of migratory birds of prey, which young people found solace in. They started consuming them as a solution, as a source of protein, as a source of food, and then any extra that they had, after selling and getting 2,000 shillings, that's good enough to buy them a kilogram of posho, to sustain the family up to tomorrow.
In order to put an end to poaching of migratory birds, the Restore Africa program has launched an ambitious tree planting exercise with a target to plant 6 million trees in the 5 districts of the Elgon region, including Kween.
The target for Kween district alone is 585,000 trees, mainly promoting the growing of indigenous tree species, both fruit and timber tree species.
Local leaders are hopeful that the fruit trees will improve the nutrition needs and livelihoods of the community, as well as provide a good habitat for the birds.
We have embarked on planting trees like the exotic muvule. We also have a giant lira. We have fruit trees like mangoes and guavas, and that will help us. The fruit trees will help us in nutrition. Then the others will help us as a conservative area of woodlocks.
The community has also been urged to enroll in the government poverty alleviation programs such as EMIOGA and the Parish Development Model (PDM). As the communities patiently wait for the trees to grow, residents have tasked the government to provide relief items to the community to deter them from engaging in poaching again.
The government will help us in horticultural crops, like if they can give us more seed, cabbage seeds, onion seeds, it would be better, because we already have what we can do. We can use our best to manage it.
Joel Cherop, a conservationist, acknowledges that although he has secured drought-resistant technologies such as oil seeds under the Uganda Climate Smart Agriculture Transformation Project to help the community, the government should facilitate them with solar irrigation equipment.
Oil seeds are drought tolerant. For them to thrive, for them to get something, so that they're diverted from those bad vices. And I'm also calling upon people like Uganda Wildlife Authority, whose interest is the park. But they should not just be interested in the park, because the people who live by the sidelines of the park are hungry.
Uganda's diverse ecosystems create an ideal habitat, attracting migratory birds to breed, nest, and raise their young ones. The birds also act as pollinators, seed dispersers, and contribute to the health of the ecosystem and agriculture. With over 242 bird species, Pian-Upe Wildlife Reserve is one of the birdwatcher paradise in the country. Recently, the government has expressed interest in upgrading the wildlife reserve to a national park.